What's up everyone, it's Laughlin'Z here. I know it's kind of crazy that I'm uploading actual video. It's weird to me too. I've had some big changes in my life recently, and I've decided that I want to take this YouTube thing more seriously now. To kind of kick that off, I wanted to start doing sketchbook vlogs like this, where I record myself working in my sketchbook, and add in some voiceover of me talking about what's going on in my life, along with whatever random thought happens to be running around in my head while I'm recording. Like I said, life has been kind of crazy for me recently. I graduated college and that was awesome, but I also lost my job, which wasn't as awesome. Now I'm just kind of spending my days looking for a new job, making content for my Twitch and YouTube, and working on animations. It's a lot of fun, but it can also be pretty stressful. It's nice to have the free time to work on the projects that I want to work on and actually be able to create the kinds of content that I want to create, but not having a job is pretty terrifying. I do really appreciate all of the support that I've gotten, both on social media and in person. You guys are amazing, and I really appreciate all the love and support you give me. I really mean that. Let's jump now to kind of the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to talk about in this video. The thing that's been kind of on my mind this week is in regards to comparing yourself to others. I know a lot of people have talked about this, and I mean a lot of people. But it's something that I still struggle with sometimes, so I wanted to share my thoughts on it. And hopefully what I have to say can help someone else who's struggling with a similar issue. Now, even if you're not an artist or an animator, I still feel like this advice could help you, and maybe something I say will speak to you as well. The really important thing that I've come to know and kind of realized is that your path in life is not going to look the same as anyone else's, and that's because you are not the same as anyone else. There's no one else on this world who is 100% perfectly identical to you, and that is amazing. Now, because of that, it can be a little difficult, because we look at other people who are doing the kinds of things that we want to do, and we use them as measuring sticks to kind of see, well, how am I doing? Where do I stand in terms of skill level, or aptitude, or ability, whatever it may be. And while that can be good and helpful, especially if we're doing it in a healthy way, it can also cause a lot of problems. If we're looking at, let's say, a professional animator and comparing where we're at right now to their skill set, that can be a really useful tool for determining what areas we still need to grow and improve and work on in order to get a job as a professionally working animator. The problem comes when, as we're making these comparisons, we start to beat ourselves up mentally and degrade ourselves. We start to look at our creations and the work that we have done and feel like it's just not good enough. And it's important to remember when we're making these comparisons the thing that I mentioned earlier. Our path in life, or as an animator, or as an artist, or as a whatever, is not going to be the same path as any other person. That professional animator that you're comparing yourself and your skill set to has had a completely different path in their life than you have. And even if you're looking at someone who is roughly in the same spot in life as you, whether they're the same age as you, or whatever it may be that puts them in this bubble or grouping that you are putting yourselves together in, you are not identical. They have not gone through the same things that you have gone through, and you have not gone through the same things that they have gone through. There could be a million different reasons why your art doesn't look as good as theirs. Maybe you've trained in different styles. Maybe you started at different times. Maybe you have only just recently gotten serious about art in general. Making these comparisons is completely unfair and unbalanced because we just don't have all the information. So what can we do when we start to get into these negative comparisons and start beating ourselves up? I have a couple of suggestions that I'd like to give you guys, and hopefully one of these will help you out in your own personal struggles. The first thing I would say is cut yourself some slack. Nobody is perfect, and all of us have weaknesses and areas that we can improve in. And while it's important to recognize these weaknesses so that we can grow and improve, it's just as important to recognize our strengths and to acknowledge the skills that we do have. It's entirely possible that that professional animator that you're looking at has a weakness in an area that you're particularly strong in. So cut yourself some slack and acknowledge the skills and the abilities that you do have, that you have developed through your own hard work and diligence. The second suggestion I would share with you guys comes from a quote that was shared with me recently. The quote is, 80% is perfect. When I heard this quote, it really made me stop and think about what it meant. And I really like it because it's so true. A lot of the times as artists and as creatives, we get stuck in this perfectionist mindset. We think, oh, well, it has to be absolutely 100% perfect, otherwise it's garbage. And that's just not true. A lot of the times, good enough is exactly that. It's good enough. We don't have to be perfect in every single little piece of content that we make. I mean, look at this video. I'm sure there's plenty of mistakes and errors and all sorts of things that make it far from perfect. But that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm still learning and growing as a content creator. As I continue to work and make more content, I'm going to get better at it. And as you continue to make more art and stick with it, you are also going to get better and improve. It's a fact of the matter. The more you do something, the better you're going to get. Now, obviously, some methods of bettering yourself and improving your skills and abilities are going to be more effective than others. But even if you choose a less effective method, that's okay. You're still improving, you're still growing, you're still gaining new skills and abilities. And that's amazing, and that's awesome, and that is totally okay. Again, your path is not going to look the same as anyone else's. So go out and make those mistakes. Try those less effective methods. Maybe something that is less effective for someone else is going to be 3 times as effective for you. You won't know until you try. The last suggestion I would give you guys is to turn those negative comparisons on their head. Use it as a measuring stick to objectively evaluate where your skills are now versus where you want them to be. Use those comparisons to help you see where that gap is and where your weaknesses are and what areas you need to improve on. And then, once you've identified those areas that you need to improve on, be honest with yourself. Say, okay, this is what I need to work on. I have some weaknesses here, and that's okay. These are the things I'm going to work on, and these are the things I'm going to do in order to turn those weaknesses into strengths. Set goals for yourselves, and then make specific plans to achieve those goals so that you can close that gap between where you and your skill set are right now and where you want to be. It's 100% possible, and you can definitely achieve it. I know you can. It will probably take a lot of hard work, and there's probably going to be some points where you struggle a lot, but it's not impossible. Hopefully at least one of the things that I've talked about in this video you've found helpful or has touched you in some way. I feel like I've done a lot of rambling, and I really just hope that I managed to get the point across. Now, if you've made it to this point in the video and you're still here, I just want to say thank you. This is me trying something new, and I have no clue how well it's gonna go. It may do amazing, it may do horribly. I have no clue, but I'm excited to see what happens. If you'd like to support me even more, please consider liking and subscribing. It goes a long way to help my channel and to help me as a content creator. And make sure to ring that notification bell if you'd like to see more in the future, because there's definitely going to be a lot more coming. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm going to be doing my best to upload a lot more regularly, and I've got a lot of super fun ideas for videos coming in the future, so you're not going to want to miss any of it. On top of making YouTube content, I also stream 3 times a week on Twitch, and you can find the link to that down in the description below. Hopefully you found some of the thoughts and ideas in this video helpful, and if you did, let me know down in the comments, and also let me know other issues that you struggle with, or other things that you'd like to see me talk about in future videos. I'll be doing my best to read those comments, and who knows, maybe your suggestion won't get talked about in a future video. That's all I have for now, so thank you again. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on the high seas.